You're listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and I've been helping people tune into what lights them up and increase their personal and professional performance for over a decade. Now I'm best known as a high-performance coach helping entrepreneurs like you cut through the noise and create a business and life on your terms. If you're ready to step out of struggle and discover how simple it can be to create a fulfilling, joyful, and successful business without all the overwhelm and long hours, you're in the right place. Welcome to the very first episode of the Focused and Fearless podcast of 2020. Oh my gosh, I am excited about this year, but for very different reasons than I have for the past few years. And this is a conversation I want to have with you today, is about the version of success you are living by, and the version of success that really means something to you. Because I'm going to be sharing a little bit of an embarrassing truth. I went back through all of my old vision boards, and I don't know if you do this. I always keep my vision boards because I think it's actually a really good way to look back at what you were aiming for, the progress you've made, and all that wonderful stuff. But I also I like to draw out my vision. So I like to draw out what I'm aiming for. And these drawings are embarrassingly terrible. Okay, they are pictures of me as a stick person and my children, and only really I could probably work out what they're pictures of. But I looked back on the ones I've done for the past few years, and two things really stood out to me. One, I'd achieved a majority of the things on these vision boards. I'd achieved a majority of the things I was aiming for and had never even taken the time to celebrate that success, to celebrate that I've actually come so far in such a short amount of time. Because I don't know about you, but in the entrepreneurial world, especially in the online space, it can feel like we've been doing this for decades. Even if it's only been for a few years, it can feel like decades. So I hadn't taken the time to celebrate and give myself credit for how far I'd come. That was the first thing. And the second thing, which is where I really want to focus a conversation on today, is how much of the goals I'd set and the things I was trying to achieve were driven by my ego. I mean, honestly, I am very happy and willing to be totally honest and transparent here that so many of the things I was aiming for, I wanted to achieve them because I believed that is what other people needed to see from me to consider me successful. And I'm going to give you some examples. So I put on one of my very early vision boards, I don't know what model of car it was. See, it wasn't even that important. I don't even know what model of car it was, but it was a flashy car. I put on there designer handbags. I had pictures of really beautiful designer clothes. Okay, if you know me, or if we've had the pleasure of meeting before, you will know I couldn't give two hoots about whether you're wearing designer clothes or not. I don't own, I'm just trying to think, like I have the odd bit of Ted Baker or something. I don't really class that as designer, but I don't own high-level designer clothes. I don't have high-level designer handbags. It's not one of my values. I don't care. I don't care if my clothes are designer or not, as long as I feel good in them, then I'm happy. And I will keep clothes for years, which, is a good thing for the environment, but also when I find something I like, I just wear it. I just wear it until it falls apart because I know my style and I know the things I like. But for some reason, I had decided that I needed to have all these shiny, shiny things like the designer clothes, a flashy car. I had a picture of a huge mansion on my vision board. And those of you listening to this that were in my very first free Facebook group will remember me sharing this with you. And I was sharing it, I thought, from a place of 100% integrity. I was just like, yes, this is what I'm aiming for. And I was. But not because I truly, to my soul, wanted this amazing house. I wanted this amazing big mansion because I wanted to be able to go on social media and create videos going, oh, look at me, look at what I've achieved. I'm so successful. You should now all obviously hire me. I'm just being honest with you, 100% transparent. That is where I was coming from, but I didn't realize it at the time. We learn, don't we? And the time has definitely given me that opportunity to realize, I'm like, wow, I was coming from my ego so much, I had no idea. And this realization, I went through all my vision boards towards the end of the year, between, that in-between time between Christmas and New Year. And my ambitions and my goals and what I want to achieve in 2020 and going forward are wildly different to what I was trying to aim for when I very first started out in my business. I already have, this is a crazy thing, right? Do you sometimes look, and I hope you do look back on your vision boards, if you've been running a business for a little while, or, even if you're not running a business, if just in your life, if you use vision boarding or journaling, something like that, your goal setting, your planners, whatever it might be, it's really great, I think, to look back and go, wow, this is where I was and this is where I am now. And the place I'm at now is I am 100% focusing on success that means something to me at my soul. Absolutely at my soul level. This whole year, I was talking to one of my friends in a mastermind recently, and this whole year I've committed to quite a few things. I'll share that on another podcast, but very much committed to ease in my business, ease and joy, and following guidance, following the signs. And yes, I'm going off into the woo, but honestly, every time I go against my intuition, it backfires on me. So I am going 100% with my gut this year. I will be following the intuition. I've even made the decision I was going to release a online course in Q1. And I was like, yep, that makes sense. And it did make sense. But oh my gosh, my intuition was like, really? Is that what you want to do? But you love your membership. That's what lights you up. And I was like, yeah, but I need a course. And I'm not saying I won't have a course to, provide to you guys, but not now. My membership is what lights me up. So my membership is what I am 100% focusing on. And I'm just going to follow my heart throughout 2020. And I am pretty darn sure that it's going to guide me well. So I want to pose a question to you. What is your version of success? What does success really look like for you? And I talk to my clients about this all the time because, a version of success to one person might be a multiple six-figure business with a team, with office premises. Long-term success might be taking it into the 7 figures and having a slide in your office and it being all like super cool like Google. That might be the aspiration. For you or for someone else, it might be just to get to the point where you're earning the same amount you were earning in your corporate job so you can leave. So you can leave that 9 to 5 and pursue a career and a life that you absolutely love. That might be where you're at right now. You might have a side hustle and you're just like, yes, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to bring in the same amount that I can jack in the job. I can still securely pay my mortgage, look after my children, and then I can grow it and scale it. And then obviously your version of success may change. But if right now you just want to get your first client and that would be success, that's okay. I just don't want any of you to be making the same mistakes I was making and letting your ego make the decisions for you. Because we can share all the shiny on Instagram and be like, hey, how amazing is this? And look where I am. And this is my nice shiny holiday. And here's a picture of the wing of my plane where I'm traveling first class and all that jazz. But if you are not truly nourished to your soul, if the success and the work that you're doing every single day is not lighting you up, what is the point? What is the point? You could go and work in a 9 to 5 and get paid and go on those nice holidays. You could go to these great places. You can buy your designer clothes. You can have your fancy house. We choose entrepreneurship for something bigger and better than that, don't we? For the freedom of choice. So what are you choosing? In 2020 and beyond, what are you choosing as your version of success? What truly lights you up? And that is something I want you to remember every single day when you go into work. When you go into your office, when you go and maybe you've got a podcast, maybe you're recording your podcast, maybe you're writing your blogs, you're doing your social media, you're running your events, whatever it is you're doing. Is it leading you to your version of success? Or actually, are you chasing after some nonsense version that we see on Instagram? Okay, and I use Instagram as an example because that's where I live. That is my social media platform that I love. I truly love Instagram. But that's because I'm now at a place of 100% certainty about what I want from my life. I'm no longer chasing somebody else's dream. And man alive, I have to say, it feels amazing. I no longer get the FOMO. Oh my gosh, the FOMO, the fear of missing out every time someone would, post something that they're going to this event or that event, or they're going to this location on holiday. I'm like, oh, I feel like I should be doing that. I should be doing this. Should. Do you notice that? How many times are you telling yourself you should be doing something? You should get yourself some fancier clothes because people will perceive that as being more successful. You should go on all of the different social media platforms because so-and-so is doing it. You should do this. You should do that. Do what means something to you. Work on what matters. This is absolutely the mantra I am taking into my Focused and Fearless membership this year. Work on what matters. Because when you focus on the things that lead you step by step to the level of success that you want, oh my gosh, it's so much easier. So much easier. And you can allow yourself to be guided by your intuition. You can allow yourself to do the work that matters, that is enjoyable for you. And what you'll find is that you'll be attracting success to you rather than feeling like you're pushing through treacle. Okay, that is genuinely how I felt for most of the time running my business. I felt like I was pushing, push, always trying to do the next thing, because someone had told me, oh, you should try this strategy, try this. And I'm just not at that place anymore. And oh my gosh, it feels amazing. And I want that for you too. So for 2020, a couple of questions I want you to ask yourself. What is your version of success? And take some time to think about this. This doesn't have to be a quick answer. Get your journal out, write about it, go for a walk, really think about it. What is your version of success? What would make you just so happy and grateful to be living the life you're living and doing the work you're doing? And also ask yourself, the second question is, have you been trying to achieve a level of success to prove something to others? So important. And I know it's so easy. I mean, I have 2 children and I want to show them that yes, as a woman, as a mum, I can absolutely rock this whole business thing. I can rock being a mum. I can give them amazing life experiences. So of course, there's many, many whys to why I do what I do. And obviously giving my children the best life possible is one of them. But I'm no longer trying to prove to my family, to my friends, to my peers. I mean, let's face it, when we talk to our friends and our family about what we do, especially if you're in the online business space, they kind of look at you and go, oh, right, okay, they don't get it, which is fine, because why would they? When we first came into the space, you may not have, I certainly didn't understand about webinars and funnels and, all the technology and domains. And I was like, what? I don't know what any of this means. So it is a big learning journey. So many of the people that surround us don't necessarily understand what it is we do anyway. But sometimes we're just trying to prove to them. They understand the outside stuff, don't they? They understand like, how much money are you making? I have had that question asked to me by family members before. Well, how much money are you making? Because that is the only true level of success. Or, well, how many clients have you got? Or, well, I don't understand, what hours do you work? So all those other things, they don't necessarily, that's how they will judge your level of success. But this is where it's so important. It doesn't matter what other people think of your level of success. Your version of success that you are aiming for and that you are working towards, that is what is important, that you know in your heart what you are aiming for and why. And the only person that needs to be aligned with that is you. The only person that needs to be aligned with that is you, because you're the one that needs to take those steps, and they're big and they're scary. And I will be doing another podcast episode on a big decision I've made for 2020. which I don't know, actually, let's be true. My perception is that it may cost me a couple of friends. It may alienate me from family, potentially. But it's a decision that I've made for my life. And that, as entrepreneurs, that is what it's all about. We have to make those decisions. Again, let's reframe. We don't have to. We get to make those decisions to help us grow, to help us create success that lights us up. So I'm going to wrap this up because we're already coming up to the 15-minute mark, and I like to keep these fairly short if I can so that they're easily digestible for you. But takeaway from today is, what is your version of success? What actions and what are you committing to in 2020 to achieve that version of success? 2020, my darling, is not the year to be trying to impress everyone else. Screw what everyone else thinks. And that is the most polite way I can put it. You are amazing. The fact that you are even in this business world and taking those steps and putting yourself out there deserves so much applause. Like, you are doing amazing things, and if I was with you in person, I would give you a massive hug and just know that I am cheering you on 100%, because you are taking steps to achieve your version of success. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about that or how they judge it, because they will, but it doesn't matter. As long as you are living to your true self, you are living your truth, you are achieving what you want to achieve, my darling, that is all that matters. So that is your first little episode for 2020, and I am so excited to be recording these for you. These are going to be weekly episodes. They're going to be released every Monday. I was a little bit ad hoc at the end of 2019, I'll be honest. I was determined to start it and kind of let fear get in the way, but this is it now. Focused and Fearless podcast is here to stay, and it will be released new episode every single Monday. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. If you want to catch up with me, head over to Instagram at Heather Angel Coaching. Thank you for listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. If you'd like to continue the conversation or have a question that you would like answered in an upcoming episode, head over to Instagram and connect with me at Heather Angel Coaching. If you enjoy this podcast, please share your thoughts in a review on iTunes. I truly value your feedback, and I take the time to read every single review. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next episode.